everyone. Happy Tuesday. I almost said Wednesday, but happy Tuesday. I'm excited to have you guys all on tonight. I know many of you guys, had to rush home to make the call, and I really appreciate it. This is, the best way for you guys to learn. Oh, my Fitbit. We'll cover that. It's the best way for you guys to learn, just to get on the calls, especially live, because you can ask questions. We get to connect as a team. We get to chat. Oftentimes they get off topic, but you know what? That's okay. So tonight's about the power of your story. And tonight I'm going to have Kate share a bit about, how to share your story, social media, how to just start sharing. Before I really dove into sharing my story, I remember I wasn't hitting Success Club as new coach. I wasn't building my contacts. I wasn't sending private messages. And I was really fearful. I was fearful until I started sharing my story, which I will say actually happened accidentally. I had my regular Instagram and I had an anonymous one. It connected to my Facebook page. And there you go. My progress picture was on my Facebook page, and everyone knew it was me. I went on to Instagram. I had over, 100 new followers, all my Facebook people, all of these people I went to high school with, and I was horrified. I pretty sure I had a panic attack. I sound so sick, but I had a panic attack. I freaked out, and I didn't know what to do. I literally called Carly crying. I was a hot mess, and she was like, "It's okay." Like, she's like, "I did that too," and I was like, I know, but I don't want so-and-so to see, and this person, this ex-boyfriend, and I realized, you know what, you just have to let it go. So I did, and I will say it was still hard for me to share things on social media. I actually have to take my before photos tonight. I'm starting 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I'm already getting nervous about sharing, so don't think that because I've done this for almost 2 years that it gets any easier, because it doesn't. But what does get easier is getting that support from others. When others see you, posting, hold on, I'm just going to move the light, see you posting your progress and see you consistently sharing, because you're going to get more support. And as Kate will share, the support is endless when you keep putting yourself out there. When you are vulnerable. I know Lauren actually shared a post. What was it, today or yesterday? Yesterday? Okay. Today. I love our hand motions. And she shared, and she's like, "Hey guys, I know I haven't shared one of these in a while," and she started sharing, and she was vulnerable, and that's what makes you guys real. It doesn't matter, if you haven't posted about Beachbody in a while, not even about Beachbody, about your story, or you haven't been on a team call in a while. What matters is you're going to start now. That's what matters. So I want you guys to know that, of course, it may not get easier sometimes. I still get nervous constantly. If you guys know me, I am like the biggest worrier ever. I just worry about everything. I've been actually really good lately. I don't know, it finally hit me that worrying and stress is not good for my health, so I'm trying to limit it. And if my mom will say, it's really working. I'm one of those people where if you tell me really, if the doctor's like, don't do that, I won't do it. So I was told, and it's much better. So I've been getting better on social media, and I just want you guys, to be real. Let me just pull up something on. Let me find a recent post of mine real quick. I'm trying to find one. Oh, I shared one. It was, I don't know if this is gonna, okay, you guys can see it. It was my 2-year progress picture, June 2013, June 2014, and June 2015. And that was not easy to share, because guess what? I gained weight back. I'm 10 pounds heavier than I was last year. Last year I was at my goal weight, and this year I'm not. I could have easily discounted that and not shared it. I could have easily said, you know what? No one's going to care. No one's going to pick me as a coach because I weigh more now. Like, guess what? Who cares? I looked like a string bean back then, and now I have muscle. Like, who cares? And so it's just, I want you guys to realize a lot of it's in your head. Hold on. I'm still very sick. I don't want to make you guys deaf coughing. But I'm going to hand it over to Kate in a minute. But I want you guys to know that most of the things that we think, they're all in our head, right? Is it just me? It's all in our head that we were like, oh no, so-and-so's going to pick out this thing on me. They're going to say this about me. But the thing is, that's not true. I've had so many people support me lately that I went to bed last night. I literally cried. And I was like, do you know how many people are reaching out to me that I would never imagine? All these guys in high school that I was petrified to even be friends with, because I was like, they don't like me. They probably think, I'm fat or whatever. That's what I thought. And I literally weighed 25 pounds less than I do now in high school. and I wore 4 sizes bigger. I want you guys like to let that sink in. It doesn't matter about your weight. It doesn't matter about your size or anything. What matters is you're being real and you're being vulnerable and you're being healthy. That's all that matters. So it doesn't matter how much you know or how much, you don't think you know, people still want to follow you. So with that, I'm going to land it over to Kate.
Hi. I wasn't laughing at you because of anything you were saying. I was literally laughing because you keep muting yourself before you cough. All right. So hi to everyone. So Sarah had asked me to talk about like sharing your story and whatnot. So I thought I'd start with a little bit of like background. So my sharing my story. Wow, that's my face. Thanks, Sarah. So I got started on my journey in September 1st of 2014. For those of you that I really haven't connected with too much, or you're just now seeing my face pop up all the time on the team page and videos. Also, sorry about the lighting in here. It's like not ideal, but it's okay. So I started September 1st, but I didn't start posting anything, like literally anything on social media until about December or January. So there was a big chunk of time that I just I did nothing. And the reason why was because I decided that this journey was going to be for me. It wasn't going to be for anybody else. It wasn't going to be so that people could see it on social media. I was like, it's just going to be for me. I'm going to be the one that does this for myself. Another big reason why I wasn't sharing was because growing up, I was bullied a ton. I was called anything that you could think of, from like Donut Girl, the Michelin Man, like literally just like bullied day in and day out. I had girls like threatening me, like it was just awful. It was just awful. So in my mind, I was like, if I put this on social media, first of all, people are going to be mean to me. Second of all, I'm opening the floodgates for people to be mean. Like I would never do that. These are not people I want to impress. These are I want to do this for myself. I don't want to do it so other people can see it and ruin it. My first side-by-side picture, I put on, I synced with Facebook and Instagram in March. So I started taking coaching more seriously. In January, did rock the basics or whatever it was that you do, rock the basics. And my first side-by-side went out in March. It was a post about confidence, about how, because and Sarah said this too in other team calls, she thought that I was the most confident person in the world. And I was just really good at faking it, to put it simply, is that I figured out how to make it seem like I was confident or make it seem like I was doing good. And I could project that really easily, but I didn't feel it for real at all. So I had written about my first post about briefly about what I had been doing with Beachbody, that I was doing T25. I found Sarah, blah, blah, whatever. Picture from me in college, picture of me at that time. And then I got super scared and I went on an internet hiatus, and I texted Sarah and told her in my very dramatic way that I wanted to cry and die and just hide in a hole. And I didn't, and then I would rescind all of the things that I would say to her. I'd be like, I don't actually want to do that. I'm just really nervous. And like I said, I was really scared because of that power battle of sharing my story. So I didn't want to give power to the people that had taken it from me when I was younger, or that's what it felt like, or they tore me down, or they made me feel inferior. I didn't want to do that, but what I hadn't realized, and what I realized moving from that point, was that telling your story really reclaims the power. So if you've been bullied or you've been looked down upon because of the way that you look, when you tell your story and it comes from you, you reclaim any power that had been taken from you previously, or that you have lost in the past, or you feel like you've lost. People really respect honesty and authenticity from people, and that's what I found with feedback from this post. So this post, actually, I looked at it today. It got 147 likes, many of which came in that day. So after my internet hiatus, I went back online, and I was in pure shock. 147 people liked that picture, and it was just the most humbling and inspiring moment for me. And what was my next move after that was I was like, oh, I'm going to email all these people and tell them thank you, because it meant so much to me. And that actually got a lot of conversations started. So people that have reached out to you and liked when you share your story like that, they're already putting themselves out there. Like you put yourself out there and then they put themselves out there to like what you've done. It's a perfect segue. And people were opening up to me left and right. And they're like, I used to compare myself to girls in the room, or I never had confidence and all of these things. But you don't just want to like vomit your story at people, because that's not cute ever. It's also like very intimidating and scary for you and for other people when people are just like coming at you with everything that they've been through. And in like my first post, I didn't write like, hey, these are all the things I've been doing, or these are all my ups and downs, or these are the ways I've been bullied. Like some of that stuff I still don't even talk about on social media. And what I've done to help myself is with how I'm posting about my story is like chunk it into pieces. So the topics that I actually follow, I'm going to open my Instagram so I can use it as a guide. So I actually put them at the top of my Instagram. So it says faith, friends, food, fitness, and then grandma activities. So that's how I kind of remind myself too. Like, and I saw this in one of the videos. I don't know if it was our team call or an Iron Edge or something like that. They said you should be able to look at your last 5 pictures and be able to tell a lot about you. And you don't want them to all be about working out, because nobody likes somebody that just works out all the time. It's boring and awful. But like, so I remind myself like, okay, so I want to be posting about faith. I want to be posting about my friends, food, fitness, all my grandma activities, and whatnot. So like my last couple of pictures, so like food. Okay. And then quotes. I love quotes. Quotes in the morning, quotes at night. They're great. Art stuff. Okay. Not exactly grandma, but close enough. Okay. My challengers, post-workout, the group, okay? Things like that. So I really chunk it. And I really try to just like use it as a tool. So like Sarah just said, like people come out of the woodwork in all honesty when you share little pieces of your story. So a couple weeks ago, I shared like a physical transformation on Instagram. It was when I fit into a size 10 for the first time that I have memory. What is that? Where'd it go? Oh my God, I lost it. I hate this one.
Sorry, stop Kate and was like, can you share this later too? So don't just think she's like casually smiling at her computer.
Yeah, sorry guys. No, so I had posted, I'm trying to show like, you want to share different sides of your story. You don't want to just like post quotes all the time. Like that's nice, but like it's not real. It's not you. And like we always hear people say like it's easy to post a thing about Shalene or like a thing about Autumn or Shanti because like everybody knows them. And that's easy because it's not you, but that's not going to help people connect to you. So I posted this one. This is an example of like a physical one. So it's like me and all these things. If you're not already following me on Instagram or Facebook, let's be friends. But I posted that, okay? A kid that I worked with in college, never spoke to, maybe spoke to 5 times at like weird parties. Not weird parties, just parties. He messaged me because I talked about like how I weighed more, but I was fitting into a smaller size and like how you can't define yourself by a scale. He messaged me on his own privately on Facebook, did not like anything. But he messaged me and was like scales are bullshit. Like don't define yourself by that because like muscle weighs more. Like what matters is how you feel about yourself, and like you look great and that's what matters. Okay, this is a kid I never. If I had $50 to bet on a person to message me, it was not this kid. And he did. And it's like, if I hadn't said that, okay, now this obviously is the person who's watching me, okay? Doesn't like any of my things, okay? So likes really are great and they make you feel good, but you're getting more people watching you than people that are liking your pictures. And I've really seen that in my own. Because people will say, oh, I've been following, or I love that picture, but they didn't like it. And it's like, okay. Interesting. But he reached out to me on his own to really like helped me make sure that I was doing okay and that I wasn't deterred by that. Okay. So when you're sharing, it's not just physical, like I said. So like those are great, like physical transformations and whatnot. But another thing that's important is to be vulnerable with your emotions, because none of this is just physical for anybody. As far as I know, it's definitely not just physical for me. My biggest change has been emotionally, and like how I'm still working on that. Like how I view myself, if I'm mean to myself, if I have an off day, like I ate so many reds today on the 21 Day Fix, like, but it's that battle with me of like, don't be mad at yourself. Like, don't be angry. Like, you're okay. Like, you're fine. Cause I always would be like trying to crash diet. And so I'd be mad at myself for things that I ate. So like I've posted things like this, like be gentle with yourself. It's backwards now. I can understand that. You're doing the best you can. So I've like posted that before, and I've gotten people comment on that, and they're like, you're not the only one that's going through that, or like people that are just like showing support. And that's so, so, so important. And being vulnerable doesn't mean that you're like pouring your heart and soul and like you're like, these are all the things going wrong, because again, that's like vomiting your story. That's scary. Not that your story is scary, but that you don't want to frighten people away from you. And if people did that to you, think about like how you'd feel. But like, I mean, this is another one that I did. I was really stressed. I had been crying in that picture. So yay. When I was like getting ready to move and I said that, I was like, like I've got a lot of feelings, blah, blah, blah. And people were just like so receptive, and they're like, I hope they're doing well, or like, I love you. And like, I didn't tell them like, hey, I've been crying for 3 hours because my life's falling apart. But like, I said like, oh, like I've got a lot of feelings. It's not the easiest day, but, and you end on a positive note and you say, tomorrow's going to be better, and it's always that like upswing, because people they don't care if you're perfect. They really would rather you not, because they're not perfect. And if you're trying to be perfect, in the end, what's going to happen is people are going to be jealous of you, because that's what we do. When people are perfect, we're jealous of them and we want to be them. We don't want to be like them. We don't want to be friends with them. We just want to be them. And you don't want that. You want the people that are following you to see you as a friend and see part of them in you. And you want to use your story to learn about other people's stories and try to help them see why their story is so important. If you hide your story, like we talk about like you're robbing. I think Carly always is talking about like how you're robbing somebody of the opportunity if you don't share with them. And like robbing is like a crime. So I find that to be a little intense. But like if you're hiding your story from somebody, you're preventing you're preventing yourself from changing that person's life. And like, that's sad. Like if anything, like I think about it, like if Sarah hadn't posted repeatedly, that's the thing. You can't just like do it once a year and expect people to be like, hey, like I really feel connected to this person. Like I post regardless of how many likes I get, whether it's 1, whether it's 0, I don't care. Like they're there. If you're repeatedly doing that, like someone's going to see that. And if Sarah didn't post her story repeatedly, like I wouldn't have seen it and my life wouldn't have been changed. And my life has been changed completely. Like it's incredible. And now that's part of my story. And if I'm not sharing my story, then my challengers and my coaches under me, like they wouldn't be changing their lives. And it really is like this big domino effect. And it's so important. Like, I think I also see it as a teacher, but what you do affects so many other people. And I mean, so I show a picture of what I ate for lunch, and maybe that inspires someone to like put down the burger and fries, like that matters. Or like, maybe I say like, oh, like I'm not having the best day, or like I need to be gentle with myself. And someone else thinks to themselves, hey, like me too. Like I'm not the only one that needs to go through this or that's going through this. Like, and it just creates such a positive change. And like, you don't want to prevent yourself from changing somebody else's life just because you're uncomfortable for 5 minutes to 2 hours. Like in the end, people are super friendly, and none of those people were mean to me like I thought they were going to be. If anything, people have been overwhelmingly supportive. It's incredible. And people really do want to see you succeed. Also, if they don't, like, why would you worry about them? Like, I mean, you've got people on our team that are going to support you through it no matter what. Like when I see you guys like my things, I'm always like, yes, like those are my teammates. Like those are my people. Like I know that they got my back, and like I've got theirs. And like, that's why I obnoxiously like all of your things. Comments all over it. But like, you know, you've got a team behind you, and that's part of what makes this such a great journey. So like sharing your story is so important. And I mean, Tanya shared her little video and she said she got so much positive feedback. And I mean, we've all experienced it, you know. I mean, I've experienced like being affected by things that you guys have posted, and I, you know, hope the same. But it's so important, and it's hard, you know, it is hard, but it's worth it. It's one of those things you got to decide if it's worth it. And I hope it's worth it for you. It's been really worth it for me. But yeah, I'm all done. I got nothing. I'm a teacher. I could talk for hours.
No, you did amazing. Seriously, I'm like sitting here like,
sweating.
How is this girl coming up with this amazing content? Like spur of the moment, doing amazing. Thank you so much for that. You had me like literally ready to cry.
Oh, this is what I look like when I teach high school kids, guys.
I'm like, it's too hot in here.
Too. So, no, I think that's so great for you to say, and I've said it so many times before, that literally the exact day I posted, I remember it was almost my 1-year coaching anniversary, which actually is coming up on 2 years right now. August 21st, 2013 was
my 1 year.
Yes, and Kate actually ended up signing up exactly a year later. So it was coming up on my Beachbody anniversary, and I was thinking to myself, I had so many limiting beliefs. It was before I took personal development seriously. It's like game-changing too if you haven't yet. And it's never too late. Highly recommend Go for No. It's $4.95 on an iPhone. I bought it. I have a cough drop in my mouth, so it's like, yes, Go for No. It's amazing. Totally changed my way of thinking. Real quick sidetrack. I was invited to our 5-day group this weekend, and I was so mad. Do you know why? Not because everyone was telling me. I had so many yeses for groups, but no one was telling me no. It's like addicting. I'm not even kidding. So if you are fearful of the word no, if you're afraid, you get anxiety attacks, Go for No. Seriously, it's total game changer. If you get the audio, it's only 1 hour and 33 minutes. Quick on your way to work, like blow through it. So that's something I did. But real quick, I was coming up on my 1-year coaching anniversary, and I remember I was like, this clearly isn't working. Everyone tells me just keep going, just keep swimming. I know I'm hitting Success Club every month, but why aren't I moving as fast as everyone else? Why did the bus leave without me? I was a diamond coach. I was falling in and out of rank, and I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, guys. Fake it till you make it. That's all I have to say. Don't think that, I'm any better than you because I've been around longer. I'm not. I'm still learning. So I want you guys to know that day that I posted, I questioned my post. I posted a scary photo that I didn't want to post, and I thought to myself, I really hope this inspires one person. And that day, I remember I was on my way out the door, and I got a message from Kate saying, like, whatever you're doing, it's working. Like, I want to join you. And so I want you guys to remember that, it's so incredible that this is really a domino effect. It's a ripple effect. And I want you guys to know that it's up to you to start that. We've already began that ripple effect, and it's up to you guys to continue it. So with that, before I start coughing again, I hope you guys had a great call, and I'm going to just stop recording real quick.